Good morning, or should I say Guten Tag. Today I'm in the city of Hannover, in the region of Niedersachsen, and today we will be watching the game between Hannover and Fortuna Düsseldorf. Hannover is a pretty interesting club because they have been a big club in Germany, and they have won the German league and so on, and they have a good fan base, but they have been struggling to get back to the Bundesliga after being relegated a couple of seasons ago. So today we'll be discovering what Hannover is all about, the city, the culture at the football club, and discover actually the birthplace of the German game, because it was here in Niedersachsen where football was introduced in Germany. However, that was actually in the city of Braunschweig, which is a city you shouldn't really talk that loud about here in Hannover, because we know that Hannover and Eintracht Braunschweig, they are fierce rivals. And that rivalry actually goes back all the way to the 17th century, because Braunschweig used to be the most important city here in the region of Niedersachsen. But gradually it changed with the introduction of the widespread German railway net. So Hannover became the most important city and became the capital of Niedersachsen. So since then the rivalry between the cities have been quite big. In terms of football and the rivalry between the clubs, that grew in the 60s with the introduction of the Bundesliga. Because when the Bundesliga was going to be introduced in Germany, the DFB, they picked like different clubs from different regions all over Germany, and they were going to choose one club from Niedersachsen, and Hannover, they naturally thought that it was going to be them because they were the biggest club in Niedersachsen, the most successful, had the best attendances and so on. But Braunschweig was elected to be the first team from Niedersachsen to participate in the first edition of the Bundesliga. And the reason for that was because Braunschweig was in the third position of the Oberliga in the season prior to the introduction of that league, while Hannover was sitting at, I believe it was 9th position. So that was the logic behind that. Since then, the rivalry has grown, and today it is a really fierce rivalry, perhaps the most fierce in all of Germany. In like modern times, there have been a lot of crazy things happening at the Niedersachsen derby. For instance, Hannover in 2023, they broke into Braunschweig Stadium and they painted a big 96 right in the middle line. At Eintracht Braunschweig, they couldn't really remove it, so they had to play with the logo of Hannover during the whole game, and everyone could see it. It's crazy. There have also been other incidents in conjunction with this derby. Someone placed a lamb at the fence of the training ground at Hannover, a dead lamb. That's pretty crazy. And players of Braunschweig, they have been threatened by Hannover ultras, and there's been a lot of crazy incidents. I think this derby is a derby which no one really talks about that much outside of Germany, and I think that's pretty interesting because it is arguably the most crazy derby in all of Germany. You know, everyone knows of Dortmund against Schalke, or maybe the Hamburg derby, and those are really good derbies, but I think this one is really, really underrated, and it would be cool to witness this one sometime. But today we are in Hannover for just a normal league game, but I think it will be a good game. It's Hannover against Düsseldorf. Hannover is is fighting for promotion, as I mentioned, and Fortuna is actually not in a good position. They're almost in like a relegation spot, so it would be really interesting. I think we have two teams that really need to perform today. They really need to get those 3 points. Hannover, if they really want to get that promotion, if they want to stay in the promotion fight, and Fortuna really needs to get the 3 points, because otherwise things are not looking good for them right now. So yeah, let's get to the stadium. Anti-Braunschweig sticker. Arrived at the Niedersachsen Stadion. Looks like a very decent ground, decent atmosphere building up here. So it's going to be a cracking game, I think. So let's head inside.
Die Verhandlung läuft ein zur letzten Einheit vor dem Spiel. Zum Warm-up. Lasst es laut werden in der Arena. Hier kommt unser Team. Hier ist die Mannschaft. Hannover 96. Die heutige Partie gegen Fortuna Düsseldorf mit der 1. Mit der 7 wieder dabei. Mustafa! Mit der 8. Enzo! Leon! Mit der 9. Benjamin! Hey, mit der 15. Noel!
Zusammen sind wir groß, stark wie eine Wand. Wir danken dir, du hast uns finden. In unserem Leben 96, alte Liebe. Rot steht dir sehr viel besser als geglaubt. Und 96, alte Liebe.
Torschütze war unser Spieler mit der Rückennummer 18, Daisuke! 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 Neuer Spielstand, Hannover 96! Düsseldorf! Danke!
Fand ich auch. Nein! Warum nicht? Was soll die Scheiße?
Auf Vorlage von Elias Saad. Torschütze mit der Rückennummer 9. Benjamin! Benjamin! Und ich darf jetzt um den Spielstand bitten. Hannover 96. Düsseldorf. Danke!
Komm! Schon wieder! Junge!
That was a really bad penalty. Oh my god.
Ist gut, dass er sorgt.
verdient hier bei uns in der 1 von Arena. Ist das schön. Hannover 96 gewinnt.